Good morning everyone. Today's topic is cloning vectors. First of all, what is vectors? Vector is always referred as a vehicles, a traveling agents which can travel a gene from mother cell to a host cell. Right? And why it's cloning vectors? As because it makes a number of copies. Right? That's why it's called cloning vectors. As we can say, vectors is refers as a vehicle by which target gene can deliver to the host cell to copies a required gene. Required genes means those genes we have to replicate or we need to replicates or copies. That means the desired gene, right? Or you can say it is a delivery systems which has carrying or replicating property. Otherwise, you can say perfectly what is cloning vector, that is a vectors is a kind of DNA molecules that is used to carry a foreign DNA fragments into the host cells. It is able to self-replicates and integrated into the host cells. That means those DNA molecules have the capability to self-replicate and also integrate into the host cells. These vectors can also help in analysis or screening the molecular structures of DNA. What is the screenings? It is an identification process by which we can identify our required genes or desired genes. Right? Next, what are the features or what are the characteristics a vector should have? The vector should have three main characteristics, that it should have MCS points, that is multiple cloning sites, and a SM, that means selectable marker sites or regions, and the origins of replication sites, that means ORI site. This origin of replication sites also called as ORI. ORI is a sequence from where the replication starts. Otherwise, you can say it is the sites where a restriction endonuclease cut the DNA segments. And the next one is multiple cloning sites. That means a place where we can cut with different varieties of enzymes, that is it may be the EcoR1, HIND3, BENT-I, like this kinds of restriction endonuclease we can use for cutting the DNA molecules. That means a multiple cloning site, multiple numbers of it have a capability for multiple cloning. And the third one, that is selectable marker sites, that is SM sites, by which we can identify those carrying recombinant DNA. Or you can say we can screening the particular DNA sequence with the help of this selectable marker site. So, what are the main features of cloning vectors or ideal cloning vectors? First, should have origin of replication site. That means a cloning vector should process an origins of replication so that it can self-replicate it inside the host cells. That means the cloning vectors should have the property to self-replicate, right? And also process and origin of replications, right? Next, MCS, that is multiple cloning sites. It should have the multiple cloning sites. As because the presence of multiple cloning sites, it can use for multiple cloning, right? And next, number third, that is selectable marker or genetic marker by which an antibiotics like ampicillin, tetracyclines, resistance genes can facilitate screening of the recombinant organisms, right? And next one, that is small in size or low molecular weight that they can easily separate. When we see a small or a simple forms of the DNA, it can be used very easily, right? When we compare with the simple or small size of vectors with the big or complex types of vectors, it is very easy or very comfortable to handle with a small one or a simple one, right? That's why we need a small size or low molecular weights of the vectors. Number 5 should be capable of working under prokaryotic and eukaryotic systems. That means the vectors which have the capability of replicating in the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells is preferable for recombinant DNA technology, as because that when a vectors have a capability in replications in prokaryotics and eukaryotics, there is a choice. We can use a prokaryotic cells, we can also use an eukaryotic cells. We can make our choice, right? Next, should have single restriction enzymes. That means one vectors have one restriction enzymes. When one vector carries the restriction endonuclease, number of one restriction in endonuclease, so it can easily identifiable. Whether it has a number of 2 or more than 2 number of enzymes, it is more complicated, right? More than one restriction endonuclease can cut the cloning vectors in different fragments. That is not required. So it should have single restriction enzymes. And next, the types of cloning vectors. Very common cloning vectors is plasmid, and it is the fast cloning vectors. Widely used plasmid vectors called PBR322 was designed to include the genes ampicillin tetracycline resistance and several restriction sites. Plasmid cloning vectors have been engineered over the years to incorporating the important features that made the ideal forms of cloning. So, why plasmid is mostly used vectors? Because of easy to manipulate, easy to isolate from bacteria, and can multiply 1 to 100 times. So, when we see a large number of multiplication capability, that means we get a large or great number of desired cloning gene. And the other features are they are obtained from in bacteria, eukaryotes and archaea. They are obtained from natural sites. It is exothermal in nature, self-replicating DNA molecules, and some of the examples of plasmid vectors are PBR322, PUC18, F plasmid, etc. When we see the nomenclature of plasmid, it's initially started with P for plasmids, then the alphabets like BR, it is related to the discoverers. Here the PBR322, the discoverer name is Bolivars, that is indicated as B, and the Rodriguez, that is indicated by the R, and the number 322 is depends according their copyrights measure, and such as PUC18 and a plasmid also. And the next, bacteriophages. In gene cloning phages, lambda and M13 phage are commonly used as bacteriophages, can carry the larger segments of the plasmids, can replicate into the bacteria, that is E. coli. Phage lambda can carry 40 kb, that means a unit of nucleotides, that is kilobase pair. And the next one is phage mate. Its phage mate terms is related, like it sounds like a fudge and plasmids. So it is an artificial vectors in the combinations of M13 phage and the blue-white screenings in the definite methods. And the next one, that is human artificial chromosomes, that is discovered by H. Wilders, and it is used in gene therapy. And the next one is bacterial artificial chromosomes. It can accept approx 300 kb, that means kilobase pairs. This type is as like as E. coli plasmid vectors. That means this characteristics of bacterial artificial chromosomes is similar to the E. coli plasmid vectors. It is often from naturally occurring F plasmid. And the next one is yeast artificial chromosomes. Yeast is a fungus, that is fungus artificial chromosomes. And the next one is cusmid. Cusmid terms is also related with plasmid. It processes both plasmid and lambdophage. And the retroviral vectors, human artificial chromosomes. And the last one is subtle vectors. It is specially designed plasmid vectors which can replicate in two hosts as E. coli and Streptomyces sp. That means it have a ori or origin of replications of two hosts combines in one vectors. So that's all. Thank you. Hope this video will help you. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe for more update. Thank you.